Okay. So,
Right.
good evening and welcome to our inaugural 2023 image competition. Everybody's had a nice long, almost 7-month break from last year's competition, last competition of 2022. And I can tell based on the submissions that I've seen that that was time well used by all of our makers to really polish up what they were going to use for submissions. So I think we're going to have a good evening tonight. As we discussed, we've changed some of the categories. One of the things you're going to notice tonight is we're going to use a different process than what we've used in the past. Instead of going down category by category, we've randomized all of the images. So what that means is you might see an illustrative image followed by a nature image, followed by a portrait image, followed by a photojournalistic image. I think that does two things for us. It keeps you as the audience more engaged because you're not going to check out if you're a portrait photographer while those photojournalists and nature photographers go on and do whatever they do, because your image may be up next. It also, I think, helps prevent juror fatigue down the line. So they're not looking at the same style of image over and over and over again before switching to a different category. So we're going to have a little bit more randomization. We will still have a best in category at the end of the evening, and we'll still have a best in show at the end of the evening. But so I just wanted to prepare you for what could be jarring to some of our members who've been here for a long time. So now it is my great honor to introduce a very highly distinguished jury that we have tonight. We're going to benefit from some amazing eyeballs on these images. And first, I want to give a great shout out to Rosalind Guder, who literally found out 30 minutes ago that she was going to be a juror, because one of our selected jurors, Sharon Lobel, is in Reno, and she's under a lot of snow and has lost power to her house, and so she had to back out at the last minute. And Rosalind so very graciously stepped in at the last minute to fill that void. So I'll start with Rosalind's bio, and she's an internationally award-winning portrait photographer and educator in Los Angeles. Most of you have seen her before. She was just a judge with us, I think, about a year ago this month. In 2019, she began a professional photography career, winning some of the most prestigious awards in the photography industry, including gold awards at WPPI, first place at ASP's Image of Distinction, and first place at Cosmos Awards. She represented her adopted country as a member of Team USA, awarded 6th place at World Photographic Cup 2021. This year, she is a diamond medalist in the PPA IPC photographic competition and a gold medalist in the artist category. Rosalind is a certified professional photographer and holds 4 master's degrees, including the Master of Photography degree from Professional Photographers America and Master of Photographer in Fine Art Portraits from Master of Photographers International. She is a candidate for the Photographic Craftsman degree from PPA in January 2023. So she will be Juror A. Our second juror is Marcy Dugan. Marcy began photographing youth sports leagues and established her business, Marcy Dugan Photography, in 1994. Her reputation for capturing great and impactful moments led to her community newspaper commissioning her as a photojournalist for all noteworthy community occasions. In 2001, she added high school senior portraits to her portfolio and provided sports team and action photos for the local high school yearbook. Her work began to receive recognition, receiving multiple awards, and she earned several professional photographer certifications to include PPA Certified Professional Photographer, PPC Master Photographer, and PPA Master Craftsman. Although she formally retired and closed her business in 2015, Marcy remains very involved with leading professional photographers in California. She is a past president of the state organization and is the current PPC chairman of the board, having held that position 3 times previously. And rounding out our panel this evening is John Powers. John has spent the last 10 years as a travel photographer. Using Tokyo as his base, John photographed throughout the Southeast Asia region to include India, Myanmar, the Philippines, China, Hong Kong, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, and Japan. 4 years ago, he returned to live here in the United States. When there isn't a pandemic to get in his way, John continues to cross the pond to photograph in Southeast Asia, making 2 to 3 trips a year. A 5-time Fuji Masterpiece Award winner and 3-time Kodak Gallery Award winner, John has also published a book, Vietnam Today, a photographic tour of its peoples and landscapes, which can be ordered on Amazon. John has been recognized as Photographer of the Year for the state of Hawaii and Photographer of the Year for PPLA County, where he currently serves as first vice president. At the national level, John is a PPA certified professional photographer and holds a Master of Photography degree and is a candidate for the Photographic Craftsman degree. Additionally, he currently serves on the board of governors for the American Society of Photographers. So I would ask you to unmute for just a moment to join me in a warm PPSDC welcome for this highly distinguished panel of judges.
Woohoo!
Yeah. So exciting. Thank you guys.
Woohoo! Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
All
So
right.
now I'm going to ask everybody to mute again. We're going to get our event started this evening. So what we'll do tonight is we will start with, I will name off the category and then the title of the image, and then Michelle will call for the critique. So our first image
Yes.
of the evening is
And I'm going to
pet.
ask everyone to turn off their video, please. Except for judges. Judges can leave on their videos if they'd like. I'm going to leave mine on. Dan, it's up to you, but
Yeah.
okay, sorry. Now we
Got
can
All right.
begin.
Okay. So first image is a pet image striking a pose. Image scores an 82.
All right. Congratulations on the merit. Let's hear from John. Oh, John, you're muted. John. John. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, there we go. Oh, Dan can hear me, but John, there we go. John, you're muted. Okay,
Okay,
now
can
we
you
have to
hear
start
me
over.
now?
We can hear you now. Thank
All
you.
right, sorry about that. You
all
push
right.
one button and things go crazy.
That's all right.
Yeah, love this image. I love how the maker has the feline looking right into the camera. It's great impact. It brings you in. I love the vignetting around this. It's well constructed. Love the composition on this. It's a lovely image and certainly deserving of a merit.
All right, that was great feedback. Thanks, John. I'm sure our maker appreciated that. All right, Dan, let's go to the next image.
Okay, image number 2 is a digital artistry image, octopus. Image scores an 85.
All right, that's great. Congratulations on the merit in the excellent category. All right, I'm going to ask Rosalind if she will give us some feedback on this image.
Okay, I love the subject matter. I love the overall feeling of the image and the composition. A few things that could bring you up to the next category. First of all, I don't see any indication of a horizon line. So some slight indication of where the horizon line is would help the image. It would kind of ground it more so that it's not floating in space. Let me just see. I was looking for clone tracking. I don't see anything like that. The The blacks are a little bit blocked up, so if you could just address that issue, that would help a lot too. But great effort, and I congratulate the maker on achieving an 85.
Yeah, excellent. Thanks, Rosalind. All right, let's see the next one, Dan.
Okay, image number 3 is an illustrative image, friendlies. Image scores an 82.
All right, congratulations. This is the illustrative category. So Marcy, let's have your feedback, please.
There's a lot to look at. I scored this an 80. There's a lot to look in this image. And what was the title again?
Friendlies.
Friendlies. Okay, so everyone's talking together and conversing, and there's a lot of, different groups. I would have sped up the shutter speed a little bit, just because the girl on the left-hand side, her hand is really blurry from motion. And but this is street photography, I presume. So congratulations on your merit.
All right, thanks for the feedback, Marcy. Great. Let's go to the next one.
Okay, next image is a nature landscape image. Don't let them see you shiver. Image scores an 80.
All right, John, let's give this one to you.
All right, I love this image. Well done to the maker. I scored this an 83. I love the composition on this image where the subject is just off to the right, playing with the 1/3 rules. It's sharp, it's crisp. There's some highlight in the eye, and you've got just enough rain coming through that you know what in the world is going on to talk about the shivering. I love the clarity. I love the color, the muted color on this bird here. It's well put together. Again, well deserving of a merit.
All right, congratulations to the maker. Let's see the next one, please.
Okay, also a nature landscape image. Calm summer day at Big Virginia Lake. Image scores a 78.
All right, this one is for Rosalind, please.
Okay, I scored this image as 78. Let's start with the presentation. I think that shade of blue, it's clashing with the blue of the sky. So that bothers me right off the bat. And then when I look at the image, I think the composition is nice. I would have preferred the horizon line not straight across the middle, but choose a little bit higher or a little bit lower, and choose a different time of day because you have no direction of light. So this looks to be high noon from what I can see. So a few things that you can improve to bring it up into the merit category.
All right, thank you. Let's see the next one, Dan.
The next is an illustrative category, lonely train station. Image scores an 81.
All right, congratulations. And Marcy, you're next.
I really enjoyed this image. I love how the opening in the roof frames the Union Station sign. And the lonely station is absolutely lonely. There's only a few people moving around in the bottom right. The direction of the leading lines coming from the left corner into that little bump in the roof is just takes your eye there, then it brings it around. I just really enjoyed this image.
All right, thank you. That was great feedback. Thank you so much. Okay, let's bring on the next, please.
Okay, it's a nature landscape image. Dark is right. Image scores an 80.
All right, image scores a merit. Congratulations. Okay, John, I'd love to hear your thoughts, please.
Okay, I did score this an 80. I thought it was worthy of a merit. I like the leading line of the stream going up from the right corner, moving up through the image, which is very good. The muted colors brings out the idea of the darkness that is being talked about. The presentation is suitable indeed. One thing I would suggest to the maker is that maybe that stick on the right there in the center is a little distracting. If that white stick could be removed, it might enhance the overall presentation so that you're keeping the focus on the stream itself. But overall, a very nice image and certainly worthy of a merit. Again, I scored it an 80.
Oh, very good. Thanks, John. I know that all of our members really appreciate the constructive critique. So thank you so much for that, the detail on that. All right, let's keep moving.
All right, the next image is in the pet category. Levitating dog trick. Image scores an 81.
All right, congratulations. And the next one on my list for feedback is Rosalind.
I scored this image an 83. I thought that the title is clever, which it explains why the cushion has no base to it. Okay, lighting is pretty good. Now, I know that with pet eyes, the catch lights are always a little bit weird, and that is to be expected. However, when you bring an image into judging, especially at the IPC level, they're going to expect you to take out the second catch light on the right side of the camera right eye. So that is easily corrected. And I think that the blacks are well handled, and this is a very nice capture of this dog.
All right, cool. Great feedback. I hope the maker is listening. So let's keep going to the next one.
Next image is digital artistry. Crow in the Belfry. Image scores a 78.
All right, and the next up is Marcy. We'd love to hear your feedback, please.
So I scored this a 76. There's a lot of noise in and around on the stones all the way around. If you could get rid of some of that and tone down the hot spots on the bottom and this one on the left side there, right next on the very far, it's really kind of hot. If you could tone that down, and it would bring more attention to the bird, because our eyes always go to the lightest part of a photograph. And those highlights on the stones are really drawing my eye away from the bird. go in there and get rid of all that noise and moray stuff in there, and you'll be a lot better.
All right, that's excellent. Thank
Can
you.
I add to that?
Sure.
Okay, so I commend the maker on approaching a relatively difficult composite. I like the composition that you're trying to achieve, and where you fell down is all on the technical side. So the first thing is the mismatch between the very photographic bird and the window surround, as opposed to the very painterly background that has been dropped inside the window. So you need to have all of the parts congruent in terms of style, first of all. Then the second thing is your lighting. If you look at the lighting coming in from the camera right side of the window and back towards the left side, you don't have that lighting reflected on the bird. So you should have the same lighting pattern. And to continue that thought, you also have to put the shadow of the bird in the same direction. So there's no contact shadow where the feet touch the windowsill, and there's no cast shadow of the bird's body onto the stones as well. So those are the things that somebody judging the artist category would be looking for.
All right. Yes. Very good information from both of you. Thank you. Love that. Okay. Yeah, that is a pretty bird too. If you guys would keep moving on here, this would, let's see, Dan, if you'll bring on the next one.
Okay, it's a nature landscape image. Nowhere to go. Image scores an 82.
All right, let's see. The next one on my list is John. I'd love to have your feedback, please.
All right. For me, this is all about storytelling, this particular image. What a title, Nowhere to Go. That just nails it so well for me. I scored this an 84. Some people might say, well, there's no presentation here. Sometimes you don't need presentation. With the storytelling going on here, with that longing look in the eyes there and talking and that feeling of nowhere to go, it just gives a great impact. Wonderful storytelling, powerful impact. It really shares it brings emotion out to you, into you. Technically, it's fine. The technical aspects of it are very nice. You can see a slight cave or background in the back so that it's not all black, which is good. And that look in the eyes there of it just looking off, it just wonderful story and a great impact again. So well done to the maker. Sometimes a title will take an image and just elevate it to the next level. And this is a perfect example of that going on here. So again, I scored it an 84.
All right, congratulations to the maker. Yeah, that's really, really powerful. Thanks for those words, John. We appreciate you. And let's see the next image.
Okay, the next image is an illustrative image. Sam Bush performing at the North Carolina Folk Festival, September 2022.
This is illustrative, not reportage, right?
Correct. The image scores an 82.
All right, congratulations. Okay, Rosalind, let's hear about this.
Okay, I scored this image an 82. The reason I asked whether it was reportage is because I do not see the back of the head. So, so this could have been a choice as an illustrative image to not lift the blacks to see that. So I struggled with this because I am also always very cautious with the blacks, and there are some blocked up blacks in this image. Of course, we see nothing in the background, and in the dark area of shadow between the subject's forearm and the guitar, we have some blocked up blacks there. So I was looking all around for that. I think it's a great capture in terms of the feeling, the emotion of the moment. I would just be cautious of some of the technical aspects to this image.
All right, thank you for that.
Michelle, can I add one thing real quick?
Yeah, we'd love you to. Thanks, John.
Going back to what I mentioned on the previous one, titles have a lot to do with our images. You want to keep things short and to the point. This is a very, very long title. And you might want to rethink about the title. You don't need to title something what's going on, but bring out what the feeling is. So shorten this title considerably for the next time you enter it.
Very good advice. Thank you so much. Yeah, both of you. Great feedback. All right, congratulations to the maker. And let's see the next image.
Okay, the next image is photojournalism, carving the wave. Image scores an 81.
All right, congratulations. And Marcy, I would love to hear what you have to say.
Of course, I'm a sports person.
Yeah.
I scored this in 82. I really enjoyed this image. I spent many years photographing surf team. The border needs to be a little darker. I would have brought it to the color of the bottom of her suit, and then maybe have the keystroke of the top of her suit, but the darker area. I love the diagonal lines of the surfboard going up and her arms replicating that angle. And you've got her eyes, you've got everything, you've got the splashing. I really enjoyed this.
Oh, thank you for
Can I
that.
jump in on this one?
Sure, we'd love it.
Okay, so I looked at this image and everything appears to be correct, but for me, this image lacks impact. So I was thinking what I would do if this were my image is I would turn it black and white, and I would play with the contrast so that you have a little bit more, more contrast. I would also contemplate duplicating the layer and running a high pass filter at a low radius and putting that on a soft light or overlay blending mode to again add more texture and more contrast, especially in the water. And I think that would add to the impact substantially.
Dan, let me ask though, is this in the photojournalism category?
It is in the photojournalism
Yes.
category.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It is.
That's
So
Strike
Yeah,
everything
I'm
I
gonna say
said.
if you're gonna do all that- if you're gonna do all that, you need to change the category.
yeah, I mean, that is
Right.
definitely, you guys are both, this is both great, Marcy and Rosalind. And I think that the maker was hopefully listening. And I mean, that gives them some options that if they did want to change the category and do those things, they have that option. So both feedback was great. Thank you. Very good. All right, Dan, let's go to the next one.
Okay, next image is an illustrative image, enlightenment. Image scores an 83.
All right, very good. Congratulations. Okay, John, I'd like to hear your feedback, please.
Apparently I'm the bad guy. I scored it an 80, certainly worthy of a merit. I guess I held it back a little, so I apologize to the maker on that. What was holding me back a little bit was that I was just kind of thrown off with the circular white, all that special effects that were put on there. I kept thinking, how did that get there? How did they do that? which kind of distracted me. But then I was forcing myself to go back to look at the image itself. I love the colors. I love the impact. I love the composition to it. It's framed nicely. So I think I was a little low, and I apologize, but it was certainly deserving. And what did it score eventually?
An
It's
83.
Okay, good. Certainly worthy of a strong merit.
All right. Thank you. Thanks, John. Great feedback. All right. We're doing good so far. We're at 6:47. We've been doing this for a little over half an hour, so we'll keep going, and pretty soon we'll take a break. Maybe Dan, when you tell me we're at the halfway point, we'll take a break.
I will do that. Okay.
Sounds
Next
good.
image, also an illustrative image, my discontinuous vision. Image scores an 82.
All right. Image scores an 82. Congratulations. All right. Rosalind, let's have your feedback, please.
I scored the image an 82, so I'm right on the mark. I really enjoyed the composition and the graphical nature of this image. I like the diagonal split there, and the placement of it I think is well done. It really draws my eye into this image because of the contrast between the reflection and the real building to the right. And my mind puzzles with the difference in the direction of light. So I think this is all a good thing in this case.
All right. Great.
Can I say something?
Yes, please.
So I scored it lower, 78, just because I really enjoyed this image, but it feels like the back building is leaning backwards. And if you look at the bottom right, you can see that the building isn't straight. So if you just take it into the free transform and just pull that out so that you have that white line of on the balconies, you see it as you go to the top, you don't have as much room of the building at the top as you do at the bottom. And the same with the other side. So if you just straighten the image out so that it looks more straight and you don't have that back falling feeling, I think it'll score a lot higher.
And continuing on that thought, the top of the diagonal line, there's a sliver of light there, which could be cropped out because my eye kept going to that one little spot.
All right. That's all really good. Thank you, judges. Really, really great feedback. We really appreciate all the detail. I know the makers will be very thankful. All right.
Okay, next image is also illustrative. Chevy Dreams in Silver. Image scores an 80.
All right. Congratulations. And Marcy, I'd like to hear your feedback.
I scored this an 80. I'm having a little problem with the reflections in the top of the left side. I don't know what it's called. Left side top, upper, where it's really reflective. And the part that kind of bothers me a little bit is the hood where it comes together. It's not straight. It's headed off to the right. And that just annoys me. But if you would have just taken a little step to the left, I think, and straighten that out, that would be really great. And maybe tone down some of these spots down farther. The one in the center there, just below the L on that piece of chrome, tone it down a little bit because my eyes keep going down to that also.
Very good. Thank you, Marcy. Thank you so much.
Yes.
This,
Can
yeah,
I
this
add
feedback tonight's
something?
been great. Oh, yeah, please.
I'm looking at the hood ornament and I can't take my eyes off of it because it's not sharp. And I think that in this type of image, that has to be sharp. So I think you need to choose a smaller aperture when you take this image and redo it and make sure everything's symmetrical as Marcy suggested, and you will do much better.
Very good. Yeah, you guys, your feedback is really great. This was really good. And just a little side note for everybody tonight that this is really a growing experience doing image comp for people that are new. The feedback is just, I hope that you take it as priceless and remember that it's, different people's opinions and everybody's looking at it. But tonight, I really feel like this feedback is very, very good. So we appreciate you, judges. And with saying that, let's go to the next one.
Okay, also an illustrative image, King of the Ball Court.
King of the Ball Court.
Correct.
Right.
The image scores a 77.
All right, John, if you'll give us your feedback.
Certainly, I certainly enjoyed the composition on this. I scored it a 78. I love the sharpness on the lizard here, and the placement, as I said, the composition on it. However, it just overwhelmed in that corner down there, and you miss the overall picture of what's going on there. You're questioning that. I'm questioning that tube in the upper part there. It's part of the ball court, but I'm not sure what kind of ball court that is. I'm just kind of confused with the title and the subjects, the distracting images behind the subject. It just kind of was throwing me there. So I appreciate what the maker is trying to do, but it's just not coming across, and it's leading more to confusion than anything else.
All right, great. Thank you, John. Appreciate that. And let's go to the next.
Okay, next image is a nature landscape image, Sultry Glance. Image scores an 81.
Okay, I'm gonna ask, let's see. Rosalind, you're next on my list, but I'm gonna ask you, and I'm also gonna ask Marcy after you're done,
Okay.
because we have a spread and opinion, and I'd like to hear both.
Okay, I scored this image an 85. I enjoy the composition, the very human-like portrait posing, and the choice of depth of field. I also like the almost black and white. It appears to have a slightly purplish cast, which I enjoy very much. So I think that the entire image is very well handled, and I would love to hear what Marcy says.
Great. So I'm the bad guy. I scored it a 78. I found it, I love the secretary bird. I photographed it many times. I find it a little hot in the feathers. I know it's kind of backlit. It just seems like my eye keeps going from the back of its neck to the upper left-hand corner to that bright spot there, and then back down. And you can see the fence behind there. And that's one hard fence to get rid of, the secretary bird in that cage. I just think it should be toned down a little bit around its neck, so it and the border should be darkened down so that your eye goes to the face of that bird, that eye and the beak, the nice little curve of the beak.
All right, thank you, Marcy. Thank you,
Oh,
Rosalind.
what was the final score?
So the
Was it
final
an
score was
81?
an 81.
81.
And when we have a spread like that and there's not a challenge, I find it helpful to the maker to hear, why one judge would give it one and one judge would give it something else. So that was wonderful feedback. We appreciate that. And congratulations to the maker for an 81. So thanks, judges.
Okay. The next image is a nature landscape image. Common hoopoo in a date palm.
Common what?
Hoopoo.
Cuckoo.
Image scores an 80.
All right, congratulations. All right, let's hear from John, please.
I scored this a 78, not quite there as far as a merit goes. I think that several things going on here. The stroke line around it is a little too strong, I feel. I love the sharp contrast of the black and white with the palm leaves versus the figure itself, but the figure itself is lost in this whole image here. The title is about the hoopoo, and it just lost in there. And it seems to be buried with that presentation. That black border is far too wide and broad, and it just kind of overwhelms the entire image, so that you really have to look to find what's going on in this image here. The technique on this to the maker is excellent. Your technique is excellent. It's sharp, it's crisp, it's composed well, but as far as the placement goes of the bird, but it's just dwarfed by the frame and dwarfed by the palm trees. And so you lose what the whole image is all about.
All
I'd
right,
like to comment.
sure.
So I love this. I scored it an 81. I think it's very graphic, and when it came out, it really popped. What I would do is, like John said, make the black border smaller, but I would crop off that bottom third, and that would even make it more graphic. Get that light spot off the bottom and make it into like a little pano. And I think that's just a very graphic image.
I would totally agree with you on that. If you would crop that bottom part, definitely.
Oh, good advice. All right. Thank you for that, both of you. Good. Very good. Okay. Dan,
Okay.
let's see next.
Next image is a wedding image. Reflections. Image scores a 78.
All right. Let's see. Rosalind, please, if we can have your feedback.
I scored this image as 78. So initially there's a lot of impact because of the bright area at the top and also the bright area at the bottom. But I think I struggled most with the fact that my eye keeps going to the top, which is the blurry reflection, where I really want to be looking at the beautiful rings. So I think that the way for me, if I were to do this, is to add more light to the front of the rings and darken down the reflection and the background of the rings. I would also clean up a lot of these spots. I'm not sure what these spots are, but you can see them both to the left and the right of the ring, as well as this kind of a scrape in the surface that the ring is resting on, just in front of the rings. So I would clean all of those things up. And there's also some very strange white spots at the top, right near the top border of the image. So I think that these are all technical issues that can be addressed, and you'd have a better result.
Okay, thanks for all that. Good, good, good. Okay. What do
Okay,
you have
next
for me
image. Next image is a nature landscape image. Spreading my wings. Image scores an 83.
Challenge.
All right, we've got a challenge from John. Okay, this will be good. Go for it, John.
Oh, what an impact this image has. I love this. The colors are rich. The tones are wonderful. It's one of the times in which you center an image works so well. The profile that you have of this moth or butterfly, whatever it is just spectacular. I'm looking at it closely, and it is sharp all the way through. I love how it's positioned. I love how it's placed. I think it certainly is deserving to be in the excellent category. I scored it an 85.
All right, I love a good challenge. Okay, so John has scored this at 85. It's holding a score right now of 83, and John is challenged. So Rosalind, it's your turn. Let me hear your thoughts, and then we'll hear Marcy, and then we will hear a rebuttal from John.
Okay, I scored this image an 82. I agree with the initial impact. What I would have liked to see improved is the focus. It's forward focused as far as I can tell. So the bottom edge, which is closest to us with the drops of water, are in better, clearer, sharper focus than the top edge of the butterfly wings, which is softer in my opinion. You can also see the same thing on the left side of the leaf, at the top of the leaf. That part of the leaf is blurrier than the foreground leaf. So I think you have some sharpness issues. I would also improve the image by bringing a little bit more light to the top of the butterfly and darkening the leaf so that the leaf is not as much demanding less attention than the butterfly. But I stand by my score at 82.
All right, thanks, Rosalind. Okay, Marcy, let's hear yours.
I scored it an 81 as the things that were said by Rosalind.
All right, thanks so much, Marcy. Okay, John, your
Okay.
rebuttal, please.
Okay, thank you for those comments. Well taken. I think the lighting personally is fine for the image as it is. The shading is fine. I think the lighting works well. I see what you're talking about with the sharpness at the bottom compared to at the top of the leaf and the top of the wings of the moth. And I certainly concur with that. And that's why I keep it at a low excellent of 85 and not a strong 88 or into the next category. But I don't think it is enough to keep it out of that category. I think it is certainly worthy of being in the excellent category, but that's why I gave it an 85 because it's there as far as it goes overall, just missing out on that slight focusing a little bit. So I don't think that takes it away. So I'll stand at that 85.
All right, all really good. So now what's going to happen is our judges are going to rescore.
There we go.
And they're still thinking.
I think Marcy might have tried to rescore before I cleared them all.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. All right, image maintains at an 83.
All right, that was a great challenge. So for people who have not sat in on image competition before, you know, a challenge can go up and a challenge can go down. And when the judges feel very passionate about the category that this image should be in, then they fight for that image. And it's so interesting to hear all the feedback. So thanks, you guys. That was a great challenge. All right, let's go to the next one.
Okay, next image is a nature landscape image, just hanging out. Image scores an 82.
All right, congratulations. Marcy, it's your turn, please.
I scored it an 83. I really love the detail in this dragonfly. Um, the bright spot on its head, I think that could be toned down just a little bit because my eye just keeps going there, which it should. And then maybe tone or vignette the background just to bring more attention to that dragonfly. The detail in the wings are fabulous.
All right, thank you. Yeah, that is beautiful. All right, let's see the next one.
Okay, the next image is an illustrative image, abundance wreath. Image scores an 89.
All right, congratulations. 89 in the excellent category. All right, judges. Let's see, my next person up is John.
Hats off to the maker on this. I scored it an 88. I love the impact on this. The technical excellency that went into creating this is just, off the roof. It's just wonderful. I love the symmetry involved. I love the colors, the impact, everything that's going on with this image. Very creative, well done. I love the presentation. I probably would have had the presentation, I would have had the black border on the top and the bottom just a little wider to match the border on the left and the right. Make it a perfect square all the way around. So I would just suggest that to the maker.
It is a perfect square.
It is. I'm
Yeah.
not. Oh, you're right. I'm looking on one thing here. You're right. I'm looking at on my iPad, which is sharper, but it's not as composed. So you are right. It is, well, it is good all the way around. So hats off to the maker on this. Great impact, great everything about it.
Oh, yeah. Wow. I'm really
Can
proud.
I just
Yes,
jump in and
Rosalind,
just
yes.
add on a personal note? I believe I scored this image in a previous print competition, and I believe that the maker has taken all of my advice, and congratulations. It looks fantastic.
All right. Thank you for that. When the score of an 89. So congratulations to the maker. Good job. Okay.
Right,
Dan, where are we at?
next image, nature landscape, prickly.
Dan, we don't see prickly on our game day app.
I see it.
Yeah, the remote displays show it. It's a little delayed on game day.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Okay, thank you.
Image scores an 84.
Challenge.
All right, we've got a challenge from Rosalind.
I scored this image in 92 in the superior category. I love everything about this image. I love the composition, and I love the way the subject appears to be echoed by the plant that's just behind it to the right. I think that everything is beautifully sharp in the foreground, and I love the choice of the depth of field, time of day, the lighting direction, and I want to hear what the other judges say.
All right, so we've got a challenge and the score stands at 84. Rosalind is the challenger, and I'd like to hear from Marcy, please.
I'm the bad guy. Again, I scored a 78. I understand the prickly, and that's that center cactus. The bottom right-hand corner is really drawing my attention away from the prickly. I wanted to be more in the prickliness of this picture. Maybe if it's cropped more into a square where the scrub brush on the right-hand side isn't so dominant in this photograph, because I love the background, the backlight of the cactuses behind. And I think that is your image. By discarding the right and left corners of this photograph, I just can't see it in a merit category.
Okay, thank you for that, Marcy. And John?
Well, I certainly saw it in the merit category. I scored it in 82, but it's the same thing that Marcy's talking about is exactly what was holding me back from taking it up to the next level. Was that right corner there was just so distracting to me. I kept thinking, boy, if they vignetted this a little bit and took out those those hot spots that are in there, that orange and those three semi-green highlights there. I know it's part of the nature itself, but my eye just keeps going to that right corner, and I found it quite distracting. But I'm certainly listening and looking to raise my score.
All right, thank you. And Rosalind, in
Okay.
rebuttal.
So in rebuttal, I hear that Marcy is distracted by the bottom right corner, and perhaps it's the brightness of that corner that's drawing your eye. For me, it doesn't bother me because it is not anywhere near as bright as the subject or the other bokeh elements in the background. So that doesn't bother me much, but I agree that it could be toned down a little bit. And I agree, John, that those greenish white blobs could be removed, but none of that takes away from the beauty of the subject and the very crisp prickliness of it, as well as that greenery that's to the bottom left. It itself is vignetted enough to not draw my eye that way. So that's in reference to John's comment about too much of that greenery on the left side. I am just drawn to the contrast between the very prickly subject and the very soft bokeh of the background elements. And I invite you to join me in the excellent category.
All right, great challenge. Okay, I'm going to ask my judges to please rescore.
Image scores an 87.
All right, congratulations, 87 in the excellent category. Very good. To the maker, beautiful. All right. All right, Dan, how are we doing on the lineup?
We are image number 24. It is a portrait image, Bohemian Beauty. Image scores an 87.
All right, congratulations to the maker. And the next person on my list is Marcy.
I scored this a 91. I thought it was deserving to be in the superior category. I love just how she's posed, her body, the fabric tied on her wrist goes down into her gown, which goes down to the next wrist. It just, the flow of her elbows at different angles and just following her body, the expression, her eyes look like they're just piercing me. I really enjoyed this image.
All right, thank you for that feedback. Excellent. We appreciate that. All right, Dan, what do you have for us?
Okay, next image is a digital artistry image. Anastasia in the woods. Image scores an 82, and I know that there is a delay on the Zoom.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, for some reason on the
Yeah.
Zoom, it's not showing.
Oh. Okay, let me check my. Oh,
There it
there.
is.
Okay,
There we go.
all right.
Okay.
Yep, it's waiting for the game day app is lagging a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, score is 82. Congratulations to the maker. All right, Anastasia in the woods. All right, John, let's hear your feedback, please.
I love this composition. I scored it an 84. I loved what they put together. I'm always enamored by compositions because it's something I can't do. So when I look at it, I go, well done. So I'm kind of partial to that. I'm sharing my bias there. What held me back though a little bit was the tone. You have that bluish glow of the background, and yet you don't feel that on the subject herself. And so I felt that there was a contrast in the tone going on there. So if the maker could just work on that tone a little bit to blend it in better with the environment, I think it would mesh better and be a more powerful image. But as it's set now, I think it was well done and certainly worthy of a merit.
I
All
have some
right.
remarks.
All right, please.
Okay, so I scored this image an 84, and I believe I was high on it. I think that again, you've been quite ambitious in this project. There are a few things that are incongruent, and that's what the judges are looking for. So first of all, in your background image, that guide image that you've shown in the upper right, the light is clearly coming from the upper right corner, and even in that image, the shadow of the left side, camera left side gate is not correct to match the direction of light of coming so steeply from the right corner. So that's already a problem in your guide image. When you add that into your in with your subject shadow is also in the wrong, is not congruent in terms of the direction of the shadow. And it's also wrong in terms of the quality of light. So the light is quite diffuse throughout the image. However, her shadow is very sharp. So you need to make that soft to match the rest of the image. And then your shadow densities are also not correct. So all of these things come into play. I would also remove the green cast that comes onto the camera right side of the subject's dress, which is from the green grass. So you can correct all of these things and you would be at least one category higher.
All right, great attention to detail. Thank you so much. Good job. All right, let's
Yeah.
go.
Okay, next image is an illustrative image. Don't ask any questions. Image scores a 79.
Okay. Let's see, this one is Rosalind, please.
Okay, I feel like I'm talking too much.
And if anyone wanted to know, I told the judges this. I go John, Rosalind, Marcy, John, Rosalind, Marcy, and even though Rosalind just talked, it was an addition. So technically, it's your turn. So if that everybody's getting equal opportunity, but if you add extra, then that's okay. So,
Okay, I scored this image in 80. I didn't quite know what to do with it because I didn't understand the title. And I was confused by all of these blurry areas and blocked up blacks in the bottom left and bottom right corners of the image. So I landed at an 80 just because I didn't really know what else to do with it.
okay, thank you for that. All right, well then let's move to the next one.
Okay, so that was our halfway point. Now I'll put it to you and the judges. Do we want to take a break or do we want to soldier on?
Break.
Yeah, I think a potty break real quick would be great. I'm gonna put the recording on pause. If you'll let me. It's 7:22 now. Oh, I hate it when I'm pushing my mouse all over and it's not letting me do it. Okay. I'm gonna stop my screen share. Maybe I have to do that first. And we're gonna
Just love technology.
recording progress, share screen. All right.
Good job.
Okay, did it. All right, everybody, we are back. Our judges are all here. And we are going to, Dan, are you here with us? No.
I
He's
am.
still in the bathroom.
Oh, there's Dan. Okay. We've got Dan. So Dan, are we ready to roll?
We are.
Okay.
Before we
Right.
start, I'm not sure who controls it, but there's a cursor on the image there. If we could,
Let's see. Oh, I control it. Thanks, John. Okay, we'll move that. Can you see it now?
nope.
That's
Thank
an
you.
artistic thing, John.
Oh, you know what? Okay, yeah, that was on the Zoom. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
it's not on the print
Yeah,
room.
it's
It's
not
only on
on
the
my
Zoom.
personal one,
It's
but
not
for
on
those
game
that are-
day, but it's on the Zoom. Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I fixed it. Thank you. Okay, we're
Okay.
recording.
Great.
Judges are here. We got the rest of them. Okay, so we're gonna keep going.
Okay.
And all right,
Next
you guys-
image
judges, you're
is-
doing fantastic. So thank you so much for all the feedback.
All
All right.
Next image is a photojournalism image, Grace and Flourish. Image scores an 81.
All right, congratulations to the maker. Way to come off a
I'd
break.
like to challenge that.
All right, so Rosalind is going to challenge.
No,
No,
no, not me.
Sorry, who was it?
Marcy.
Marcy's challenging.
me.
Sorry, I had everybody.
am.
Oh, Marcy would like to challenge, please. All right, Marcy, go ahead.
I scored this a 78. I don't think it's worthy of merit. I know it's photojournalism. I've been there many times, but if you just move to your right, and maybe you couldn't have, but there's one thing we don't do is photograph into the crotch. And that's I don't see her face, so my eyes go there, and then they go to those bright lights where if you would have moved to your right, just reposition yourself, get her face in the picture, maybe with those bright lights on each side of her so that you're more of a frontal view. You would have more of her leg out to the side. It would tell a better story. So I'm just, I know it's photojournalism, but when you do photojournalism, you need to walk to the right position.
All right, we've got a challenge, everyone. So our score is an 81. Marcy is a 78, and she's started the challenge. So I'm going to go to John.
Okay, I scored it an 83 because it was photojournalism. I loved the sharpness and the moment captured. It was clear, it was crisp. I was thinking, boy, it needs to be off to the right more, definitely. But I'm going, okay, it's photojournalism, so give them the benefit of the doubt. About the angle you were talking about shooting into her, like you were mentioning there, that didn't even occur to me. So I guess I just didn't know that protocol, Marcy. So that's my ignorance on that. It I didn't even notice that. I was just looking at how sharp and clear everything was and how the moment was captured in a great story that was told here. And that's why I gave it an 83.
All right, thank you, John. And Rosalind, would you please comment?
I scored this image an 83. Like Marcy, the first thing I saw was her crotch, and I hate that. But just like John, I thought, oh, it's photojournalism. I have to be a little bit more lenient. I agree about the shifting to the right. I would also crop half of that image off on the left side. We don't need all of that light. But I believe I am high at 83, and I will be coming down, but I think it still remains worthy of a merit.
All right, and Marcy, in rebuttal.
In rebuttal, I see where you're going, but photojournalism, we're always taught, reposition yourself, get in the right position. If you see a lot of, like the Olympic shots, they position themselves. So certain signs and certain things are in the background. And I think that if they just would have repositioned themselves to the right and they wouldn't have to crop, Rosalind, like you said, I would use those two strips of lights to border her, which would have given the image a lot more impact. So I encourage you to come down with me so that the maker can really, learn again, and maybe he has another image that might be that way and he'll know what to do, or she will know what to do.
Right, this is what a challenge is made of. So jurors, I'm going to have you rescore, please. Ann, are you there?
Sorry, image scores a 79.
All right,
Thank you.
that was a good challenge, everyone. I know not always in a challenge is the outcome that the maker is hoping for, but we're in this to grow and to put out the best work possible. So thank you for that, judges. And let's see the next image, please.
Okay, the next image is a senior category image. The future is mine. Image scores an 82.
All right, congratulations to the maker. And John, why don't you take this one, please?
And that's exactly what I scored it, an 82. Love the lighting on this all the way from head to foot. It's a well lit. I love the pose on it. It's just a great impact there. To the maker, the one thing I would suggest though is that vest seems to be open right at the top where it meets the tie. You see that part of the shirt sticking out there. If that could be fixed, it would. I find that a bit distracting. You might want to just cover that up or have that vest come across there. But other than that, well composed, well lit, a lovely image all the way through. Score of 82.
All right, excellent feedback. I'm sure our maker is very happy. And let's go on to the next image, please.
The next image is a photojournalism image, running happy. Image scores an 84.
All right, that was a close race. Okay. Rosalind, you're next on my list.
What did it score? 84?
Scored an
Correct.
84.
Okay, I came in at 85, bottom of the excellent category. I think this is an excellent capture. I like the shutter speed that you chose. The only thing is the exposure appears to be about a third of a stop too bright from my taste, but everything else is well done. I would have also preferred a white key line rather than red, but I think this is an excellent capture and I congratulate the maker.
If I could throw one thing in there, hats off to the maker, getting all 4 hoofs off the ground at the same time. That's a remarkable moment. That's also why I scored it an 84. And no doubt that's prophetic, because if you look under the boot, that's probably a 4 there. That's an 8-4 on the
Oh, very good. Love it. All right, judges, that was great. I'm sure our maker was thrilled with that. And let's go to the next one.
The next image is a nature landscape image, the falls flow. Image scores an 82.
All right, congratulations. And Marcy, you're next up and you were high on this. So let's hear your feedback, please.
Hey, how about that? Finally, I'm the highest. I've been here. I didn't have this great of weather when I was there. I love this image. I love the movement of the water, how it comes down in the bottom third and runs out that bottom corner. The only thing I would maybe kind of do is try to tone down that upper left-hand corner. Oops, just lost it. My computer went to sleep. But I really love this image, and I love the movement and everything. The maker did a really great job.
All right, thank you for that feedback. Excellent. All right, Dan, let's go to the next one.
Okay, next image is an illustrative image, Cadillac Ranch Electric Wonderland.
What category?
Illustrative. Image scores an 81.
All right, congratulations on another merit. Okay, let's see. I've got John for this one, please.
I scored it an 80, certainly worthy of a merit. The first thing that kind of struck me was that bold stroke line around it is just too overwhelming. I would suggest to the maker to just bring that stroke line to be a fine line. You don't want bold stroke lines. They're too distracting on the image. I love the creativity on this, well composed. I like the idea of the technical excellence that was involved in this. I love the way that they played with the each of the vehicles there and work the designs and all that's in there with it. I'm not sure exactly what they did, but it is very creative with the coloring and the outlining and so forth. It gives it a almost a lunar feel with that gravel versus that black sky around it. So certainly worth a merit for its technical, for its techniques that were involved, for its composition, but bring that bold stroke line much down lower, please. Certainly worthy of a merit.
All right, thanks. That was
I love this image, and I agree with the stroke, but I think the matte should be that dark black like the background, and that would just make it just pop off the page. I just love the graphic aspect of this image.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. Thanks, both of you. All right, I'm sure the maker's thrilled. It's super cool. All right, let's go to the next one.
All right. Digital artistry, sketch of myself.
How do I clear? I want to, can I have to resend?
No,
I
you
think
can tap
you can
in
clear it.
the, yeah, just tap where the score is.
Yeah, okay, I'm resending. Thank you.
There you go. Image scores an 83.
All right, image scores a merit. Congratulations. And this one goes to Rosalind, please.
Scored this image an 80. Okay, so I can see that this is not a filter. This is a hand rendered texture that's been applied to create the sketching effect. So I'm wondering, I'm thinking to myself, what is preventing me from going higher? And I feel that the main thing that's preventing me from going higher is that it appears to be a very distinct portion, let's say the upper right quadrant of the image being photographic, and then the other 3 quadrants of the image being that, that effect applied at, let's say, 100%. So it's too much of a clear distinction between where the textures and the effect has been applied as opposed to not. So I think a little bit more finesse would bring it higher.
All right, thank you. All right, let's keep moving on.
Next image is an illustrative image, stranded. Image scores an 80.
All right, congratulations on the merit. And this one's for Marcy, please.
I scored it an 82. At first I thought it was a cabin, but now I'm looking, it looks like a mag truck. I love that the photograph is like a black and white photograph with just this red truck in it. And I don't want to be there because it's too cold. But I love the red stroke line. It ties in the truck. Good job.
All right, Marcy, thank you. Okay, what do we have next, Dan?
Next image is a nature landscape image, snow monkey. Image scores an 87.
All right, congratulations. Merit in the excellent category. Good job. And let's hear about this snow monkey from John, please.
This brings back memories. If it's where I think it is, up in Nagano, Japan. I've been there many times and photographed this, so it has a sweet spot for me. I love the angle, the portrait with the turning of the head, looking directly at you with those eyes like that. It's well placed. You know, it's in the spring waters there. And it just well positioned. The stroke line's a little bright. I would soften that stroke line. It doesn't have to be so white, but everything else about it, the composition is well placed with the turning of the head, with the direct look. It's a nice sharp look with the eyes. So well done to the maker, and certainly worthy in the excellent category.
All right, very good. Thank you.
Okay, the next image is illustrative, waning beauty. Image scores an 84.
All right, congratulations. And next up is Rosalind.
I scored this image in 83. I enjoy the subject matter. I struggle a little bit with the composition because it is not quite dead center. So you have to choose either to make it dead center or make it more to a 1/3 line on one side or the other. I struggled also with the blocked up blacks in the shadow areas of the darker leaves and in the shadow areas of the flower heads as well. My eye keeps getting drawn to the bottom right part of the image where you've got some stems and some leaves hanging off the edge. And I think it would be more storytelling if they were more wilted there. So that could improve the storyline, but overall, a beautiful capture.
All right, thank you so much for all that feedback. Very good. Hey, Dan.
All right, next image is a portrait, Zayden. Image scores an 81.
All right, Merritt, congratulations. Marcy, take this one, please.
I scored a 78. I think this would be better off cropped in a square to really highlight him. His left eye is smaller than his right eye, so I probably would have turned him the other direction so that the bigger eye is towards the camera more, so that the smaller eye is away and looks natural. And tone down his hand and his forearm there so that the attention goes to his face and not to his t-shirt and his forearm. The catch light in his eye needed to be, maybe bring your light down a little bit to get a bigger catch light in those eyes, and a little more work on his skin. His skin, it looks really rough for the title.
All right.
Possibly a kicker in the back just to highlight the left side of his body, or the right side of his body. Camera left.
Good attention to detail. Thank you. Okay.
Next image is a senior image, power play.
So in the senior category, it's portrait rules, right?
Not necessarily.
No?
Nope.
Refer to Dan on that.
Yeah, not necessarily. It's similar to portraits. They must be a senior in high school, junior or senior in high school. Image scores an 80.
All right. Congratulations, Merritt. And John.
I scored this in 83. I really enjoyed this image here. I thought the placement was excellent. You have the person off to the right, but you've got the flying ice off to the left, which balances it so nicely. You have the spotlight on the ice itself. You can see the emblems of the place in the ice. It's well composed. I like the structure to it. It's nice and clear. You can see the face nice and sharp, although there's a lot of movement going on. The hockey stick is off to the left. Everything is counterbalanced so nicely with this, and I like the color to it. It might be interesting if the maker played with it in black and white and see how it would pop as well. But it's well done here. Really, really nice image. Again, a score of 83.
All right.
I'd
thank
like to
you.
comment.
Yeah, please.
So this is one of those images where you could possibly put it into a photojournalism type thing. But since it's in the portrait, I would have toned down those metal bars in the background and got rid of these scratches in the front of the ice on the right-hand corner, because those are distracting. I want to see him. And if he had a puck, I mean, he's on the ice and everything, but he doesn't have a puck, you know, because his hands are in the position to have a puck there. So that's, you know, if you're going to tell the story, you need to tell the whole story.
All right. Thanks, Marcy. And judges. Okay, let's move to the next one.
Okay, the next image is a wedding image. Are you ready?
So does your wedding category, is it just wedding altogether? There's no PJ?
No, it's all wedding together.
Okay.
So it must be day of the event. Image scores a 79.
All right. And Rosalind, this one's yours.
I scored this image an 80, and it took me a really long time to land there because I was so conflicted and confused. So the first thing that I see when I look at this image is I see that very blown out area camera right, and then I see that very blocked up area camera left. So that huge contrast, of course, has me going back and forth, wondering and trying to figure things out. And so then the next thing I noticed is the very blurry foreground figure on the left side. And I wonder about the technique that's been applied there, because it doesn't make sense that it would be a pixelated blurriness and how that would come about. And so then my eye travels to the bride, and I see that the exposure on her face in the mirror appears to be more or less correct, maybe a third of a stop over, but more or less correct. And I look at the shadow areas on her body itself, not in the reflection. And so I just have a lot of thinking to do when I should be enjoying the image. So I'm just trying to explain to you all the conflict in my mind as I look at this image. So I did land on at 80. So I think it is deserving of a merit, but there is a lot of awfully distracting things that are drawing my attention, and they shouldn't be.
All right. Thank you for
So
that.
can I put something there too? Now I'm
Yes.
the talker.
Yeah, please.
So when I asked if this is PJ, I think the category would tell a better story, Rosalind, and the title needed to be changed, like Peekaboo Grandma, a photojournalistic type image, because it's shot at a high ISO, you can
Yes.
tell.
Yes.
And that's what's causing those effects. So I'm thinking if you change that, the category, it would score higher, because it's more like that. I think the little girl's expression is the key to this image. And the grandma, it looks like a grandma,
Mhm.
you know, peekaboo, I see you, you know, this is her big moment also, because how often do little girls get to dress up like this and play that role?
Mhm.
So I would think about changing the category.
But it's, for me, it's so problematic that 40% of the image is this pixelated blurriness.
That's the behind the scenes story right there. If it's in PJ.
Mhm. Right.
Interesting.
The
See?
category makes a big issue. That's why sometimes you, and the title, you know, the picture is not about the bride here, it's about that little girl.
Right.
What was the title again?
Are you ready?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
Well,
think about changing the title.
very interesting. Thank you so much, George. That's great feedback. So definitely a lot to think about. So very good. And let's go to the next one.
Okay, next image is a children image. Let me call you right back. Image scores an 83.
All right. Congratulations. And Marcy, this is yours.
I scored it an 84. I think it's very cute. You know, again, the title was okay, but I would have named it Hold Please, because on her shirt it says Mini Boss. And she's got her finger up there, like, does she even know what that phone is? So, you know, the expression on her face, that little, you know, and technically you're not supposed to have that much of the white of the eyes, but what is harder to photograph but black and white? And you've got the couch, it's got texture, it's got detail. The white in her ribbon has detail in her shirt. This is a very, very cute image. I would probably tone down the highlights on her shoes so that your eye doesn't go there. And on the phone, just at the bottom of that dial there, tone down those hot spots. And this is an adorable image.
Yes, very cute. All right. Thank you for that feedback. Good. I hope our makers are all listening and taking notes and filing this all the way. So very good, judges. Thank you. And let's go to the next.
All right, the next image is a portrait. Brett.
So how do you clear again? Oh, it
Tap-
already cleared.
Yeah, game day is lagging again. It's not showing Brett.
Image scores an 84.
All right, but our viewers on the Zoom won't
Yep.
be able to see it. It hasn't advanced on game day yet. There we
There
go.
it goes.
There.
Okay. All right, so now we can talk about it. And John, will you talk about Brett, please?
Love to. I scored this an 85. The impact on this, when it popped up, it was like, whoa. It just, I love the positioning of the hands. Normally you don't want the elbow coming straight out at you, but it just works so well here, bringing in that bottom part of the portrait and cropping the top of the forehead like that really just brings you into this whole image really nicely. I love the texture with this. The one thing I would suggest to the maker is that watch is a little distracting there. If you could remove the watch somehow, or think about it next time, that would certainly help. But I love the eyes. I love the texture around the cheeks, well lit. The background is really nice. And again, I'm going back to what I said on the other one, and that border on the top and the bottom, I would expand it just a little to make it even with the borders on the left and the right. But that's small potatoes. This is well done. This somebody who did this, the maker knows what they are doing. They understand lighting, they understand positions. This is well done. That's why I scored it in 85. In fact, I'm going to challenge. I'd like my other jurors to join me in the excellent category for the reasons that I stated.
All right, we got a challenge.
I'm already
Okay.
there.
So Marcy, let's see. Let's have Rosalind go first, then we'll have Marcy, and then we'll rebuttal with John. So Rosalind.
Okay, I scored this image an 80. The first thing I see when I see this image is the impact of the face, but the top of the head is cropped off, and it's also a tight crop from the bottom as well, because it's encroaching on his forearm and front elbow. So I look at this crop and I'm thinking, okay, why did the maker choose this? And why did the maker choose such a short focal length that distorts the front arm, the foreground arm, and the foreground hand to the detriment of the face? So if the story is the face, and you want people to have that on edge feeling from the crop of the forehead, I would have cropped in tighter, perhaps just below the bent hand, and not even have that foreground arm in frame, because I think that would tell the story much better. So what I'm saying, I guess, is that I question the choice of the focal length, and I question the choice in the composition of the image. And I think it would be a stronger image with those changes.
Right, interesting. Okay, Marcy, let's hear your feedback.
I was already in the excellent category with I can't see it, 86, I think. But I agree
Yes,
with
86.
Rosalind. The first thing that, I thought it was very well done. And the head I thought was cropped kind of odd. That put me off. But I agree with Rosalind where you need to crop it in, crop out that bottom arm, just hold your arm up across that bottom third, and it creates so much more impact. So I'm with Rosalind on this.
All right, John, let's hear your rebuttal.
I appreciate the comments of my colleagues there, but I totally disagree. I love that bottom arm there because it's a counterbalance to that hand that is up there. If you crop out that bottom arm there, that hand then becomes a total competition with the face itself. And you're looking at two things there, and you can be totally distracted with that huge hand and that face. But by having that elbow in there and that arm sweeping around, it brings in the total picture, and it takes away from the distraction of the hand at the top, which is necessary to give you an identity of the person itself. So I like that arm down there. It counterbalances that hand at the top, and it keeps it from competing with the face itself, because without that arm at the bottom, you have competition between the face and the hand, and you don't want that. You want that overall image, and you want to come back to that face. So I like it just the way it is, and I think it deserves to be in that excellent category. And I'm going to raise my score to 87.
All right, great challenge. And judges, let's rescore.
Image scores an 83.
All right, great challenge, and congratulations to the maker on a merit. Very good. Okay, how many do we have left, Dan?
We have about 12 images left.
Okay, great. Let's keep going.
All right. The next image is illustrative, alone together. Image scores an 81.
All right, image scores a merit. And Rosalind, you are next.
I scored this image as 78. Okay, so I struggled with the ratio because you've got the bright areas that are lit by the food truck, and then all of the background goes black. So that's a problem for me because I want to see more context to the story of them being alone. I also felt that the faces are not supporting the storytelling. They just look bored. They don't, it's not really giving me story there. So those are the struggles I had.
All right. Let's see. So thanks, Rosalind, for the feedback. I'm going back, I'm like watching the chat and I'm watching the Zoom and making sure everything's recording. Judges are doing good. Okay, everybody. I hope everyone's having fun and enjoying the feedback. All right. So Dan, bring it on.
All right. The next image is a senior image, the red shoes. Image scores an 83.
All right. Congratulations. And Marcy is up on this one.
I scored it an 80. I struggled with the sky. The sun that is on that car, on her face, on that bird, doesn't reflect in that sky. Even the lower portion of the sky above these trees on the right is brighter than the sky above the subjects. I love the red in the diner. The diner red goes down to her shoes, then goes kind of red up to this little thing on the building. So yeah, I like the image. Maybe if her brought the purse down just a little bit to give a little more angle and not have that parallel line of her left arm, just to give you another angle.
All right. Good feedback. I'm sure the maker appreciates it and I hope everyone's listening. Okay, so
Okay.
let's go to the next.
Next image is a nature landscape image, the thinker. Image scores an 87.
I challenge this.
All right, we got a challenge from Marcy. Okay, Marcy, go ahead.
I scored this a 93. I think it belongs in the superior category. I I love the expression of the monkey, the light on his face as it goes off where he's in the cave, where it gets darker, but you still have the detail of the cave in the back right-hand side. The foreground is toned down. Everything is really nice about this. I love the key line. I just really love this image.
All right, thank you. Okay, so let's see. Marcy, let's ask John about this and then we'll go to Rosalind.
I'm certainly listening. I scored this an 88, but I could certainly see it going up into the next category as well. I was enamored with it. Wow, the impact on this, great title. It all came together really nice. And maybe I was a little low. I would have liked to see just a little more space on the right. I think that camera right leg is kind of bordering right on the edge, a little too close when you compare it to the left side. I'd like to see it centered just a little more room on the right there. See a little bit more of the cave there to balance it out. But that's quibbling a little bit, I think. Other than that, this is spot on.
All right, thanks, John. And Rosalind, let's hear from you.
Okay, I scored this image an 80. Many technical issues. So let's start by talking about the focus. So this is very much front focused. The grass or the dry grass in the foreground is the sharpest part of the image. I think the face should be the sharpest part of the image. Most of the body is blurry to some degree, and some areas much more blurry than others. You have blocked up blacks throughout the image, where in some areas you cannot see the separation between the subject and the background. And one of the biggest problems to me is the direction of light is not consistent throughout the image. So you can see that the direction of light on the face is from camera left. That strong light lighting the face does not appear anywhere else in the image. So for all of those reasons, I am remaining at a low merit.
All right. And John, let's see. John, you
That
were
would be-
sorry, Marcy was the challenger, correct? Okay,
Yeah.
Marcy, let's hear your
So-
result, please.
If we've all been to the zoos to photograph these animals, and the light comes from different angles. They tuck in these little areas where the light kind of skims across their bodies and stuff. That light doesn't bother me. On my monitor, his eyes are sharp. So I don't know where that's coming from. I see, his fur is sharp around there. I don't see the issues you're talking about. John, on the leg part, his face is in the top quadrant there, the rule of thirds. That's right where it should be. That doesn't bother me, that little space there. I just think that the way they treated this image and everything, it's beautiful, and I think it will do well going on. So I encourage you to step it up.
What score?
right.
What score are you giving it?
I'm going to stay
Marcy.
with my 93.
And what was the previous average score?
87.
All right, judges. With all those things to think about and Marcy staying with her 93, go ahead and rescore that, please.
My thing.
Image scores an 88.
All right, image is in the excellent category. Good job, judges. Thank you for that. That was very enlightening. All right.
All right, the
we're
next
coming to the
image.
home stretch.
Yep, the next image is a nature landscape image, Into the Abyss. Image scores an 81.
congratulations to the maker. And let's see. This one is John, I believe.
Okay, I scored this an 84. I thought this was a very bold choice on the maker's part. Whenever you see this image, you always see it in color. At least I do. And so to see it in black and white really threw me. I said, okay, this is a challenge, and I appreciated that. The rich tones of the colors, the black and the whites really play well. It's sharp throughout. It was nice and clear. I really enjoyed the fine details throughout it, through the entire image there, and therefore I scored it an 84.
All right. Thank you so much, John. All right, we got some beautiful images tonight, everyone. Let's see another one.
Okay, the next image is a portrait image, Giselle's Haunting.
Rosalind, are you still thinking?
Image scores an 83.
All right, congratulations to the maker, Merritt. And let's hear from Rosalind.
I scored this image an 81. So the first thing is the title. Could you repeat the title, The Haunting?
Giselle's Haunting.
Giselle's Haunting. So I was expecting something moodier and more haunted. So when I was presented with the image, the subject has a very flat, well-lit feeling, which is incongruous with the title. So that had me a little bit confused. The direction of light is correct. And the image is technically correct, but I also struggled with the dark background, which juxtaposes against the bright subject. So this is how I landed at an 81.
All right, thank you for the feedback, Rosalind. And let's see the next.
Okay, the next image is a nature landscape image, Colors of the Earth. Image scores an 84.
Okay, wow, congratulations to the maker. And we've got quite a spread here, and the next
Challenge.
person discuss. Okay, so we'll save Marcy for the next discussion, and that was Rosalind for a challenge.
Mhm.
Okay,
Okay, so I scored this image a 90. And you know me, I am looking for all the technical problems, and I don't see any. I enjoy the composition. I enjoy the color harmony. And I think this is an excellent capture. And I want to hear from the other judges.
okay, Marcy, you're up.
I scored it like an 85, I think. An 85. I love the colors in it. It almost looks to me like a black and white with some color thrown in, because the sky doesn't have much color at all. To take it up to the next category, I would think that we would need some dramatic color in that sky above. I love the reflection, how it repeats itself. I wish there was a little bit more water, but we can't control nature like that. In the foreground, just to get a little bit more of the reflection. but I'm expecting a more dramatic, more impact in the sky for me to go up.
Okay, very good. And John, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are I'm the bad guy here. I scored this a 78. The potential here is amazing. I have been there several times and photographed this scene. And what I would, and just like Marcy said, the sky, it just keeps it from popping. Another thing that I had a real problem with is you have this mountain range right here, Vesterhorn, right here in front of you, but you can see some other mountain ranges in the back on the left and the right, totally different and totally completely contrasting. You can angle to get those out so that they're not there. They're quite distracting. You've got one color you're looking at in the foreground there, and then you see these blues off to the left and the right, which I find very distracting. And again, with that lack of dynamic in the sky, it just kept it for me from being in the merit category. But I think that the maker did a great job with timing themselves and placing themselves in the right spot. It's real tricky there. You have to go out a distance and off to one side to be able to get that reflection like that. And that, my hat's off to the maker for doing that. They did a really good job of capturing it, but there's so much more that can be done. And that's why I give it a score of 78.
Okay, in rebuttal, I hear what you're saying about the sky, and it could be more dramatic, and it could be made so in post, but that doesn't really hold me back. Your point about the blue mountains on both sides, I think that could be intentional, and I think it makes the yellow pop more. So without those blue elements, it would be almost like what they used to call a selective color image, where it's black and white with just one color added. So I think that the blue of those other mountains enhances the image. So I might come down a little bit, but I think we should still be in the excellent category. And I invite you to join me there.
All right, let's rescore.
Image scores an 86.
All right, way to go. Excellent. 86. Great challenge, you guys. That was really good. I hope our makers are listening. And let's keep going.
All right, next image is a nature landscape image. Best buddies. Image scores an 84.
All right, congratulations, Merritt and Marcy. Your turn.
I scored it an 84. I like the image. Best buddies. Cool. The branch that they're on, I would tone down the top of that branch to bring that, because my eye is drawn down. They're so colorful. And I find that maybe the back bird is a little soft compared to the front bird's eye. So that's, the background is nice, but tone down that branch, and it's a very nice image.
All right, thank you for that feedback.
Okay, next image is a senior image, Pursuit of Perfection.
I'm sorry, before we go on, can I just go back and make a couple remarks?
Yep,
I'm so
go on.
sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so I scored this image an 83, but the longer I look at it, the more mistakes that I see. And I would hate for you to bring this image further in competition with it without addressing these. So the branch, the left side of the branch, the top and bottom edges are very blurry of the branch. that leads me to see the tail of the back bird, and the back bird's tail edges are also blurry and dissolving. So going back to the branch now, I'm looking at the branch and I see all kinds of repeating patterns from cloning. So that needs to be fixed too. So I think overall you've got a good capture, but the things that you're doing in post are going to bite you in the back later. So just wanted to bring that to your attention.
All right, thank you for that, Rosalind. Appreciate you coming back and bringing that one back to add those details. Very good.
Yeah.
All right, let's go see that other one again now.
Okay, it is a senior image, Pursuit of Perfection. Image scores an 81.
All right, congratulations, Merritt and John. Please talk about this.
Okay, I scored it an 83. I love the lighting on this and the positioning. I was a little thrown back at the base looking at the silhouette inside the dress. It looked like both legs were down there, but I'm having to presume that camera left is just more of the pattern of the dress itself. So I was just a little confused with all of that at the base. So that's what kind of held me back a little bit. But I love the whole concept. I love the title that goes with it and the lighting with it. But yeah, a little confusing down at the base there.
All
Well,
right.
what was the final score?
It was an
81.
81.
I also want to make a comment. Her hands, if she's a dancer, her hands should be more flowy and more, I don't know the word. You know, she's got a fist, like she wants to punch somebody. Her hand should be open and very graceful. So you need to watch. I know it's hard when you're kicking up like that to, you know, have that, but most dancers know how to hold their hands.
Okay, I also have a remark. I
All right.
scored this image 78. And first of all, I think you're about a half a stop too bright overall. But my main critique is that the positioning of the body is very confusing. And you never want the judges to be trying to look at the thing to figure out where the anatomical parts are. So if I'm spending time trying to figure out where is her leg and why is that leg there and what's this other third leg, you know, that's you're already at a disadvantage if that's happening. And then I'm also looking at the shadows, and the shadows don't make sense to me either, because it looks like it's a reflection and a shadow at the same time. And so then I'm spending time looking at that, trying to figure out if that's an artificial reflection. So whenever you make judges confused about body parts and shadows and all of these things, you're in trouble. So I would reshoot this with those things in mind.
All right. Really good food for thought. Thanks, guys. All right. We're ready to go to the next one.
Okay, next image is an illustrative image, long ago and far away. Image scores an 81.
All right. Image scores a merit. Congratulations. And the next up is Rosalind.
I was afraid you were going to say that. Okay, I scored this image an 80, and I am the first to admit I know nothing about astrophotography. So when I look at this image, it looks sharp. It looks bright. So I don't really know what I'm looking at, except that to me, compositionally, it doesn't have a center of interest. So please help me out with the other judges. Please tell me what I'm looking at and how I should be thinking about it.
Okay, well, we had quite a span here and we have a little time to talk about it. So let's just go to Marcy next, and then I'll ask John and we can all weigh in on this.
I'm with Rosalind. There's no center of interest. My eyes follow the stars around the white mass in the middle, kind of off in the middle and the side. The impact's not there. If you go through the 12 elements, impact is number one, and I just don't see it here. I see I don't know, is it space dust or something all around, and that gives it depth. But yeah, I'm with Rosalind.
Okay, and John, you scored it an 85. So let's hear what your thoughts are.
Again, like Rosalind, I'm not into photography, so I'm not too sure on the technical expertise on this, but I enjoyed the storytelling here. Long ago and far away, you have this galaxy, this nebula that is exploding and coming to life. It's a birth that is taking place, surrounded by these other elements around it. It's a great story for me, a great storytelling of a galaxy that is coming into being, and we're just seeing it now, although it happened a long time ago. This is what happens in real world and looking through telescopes. So it's like a birth story to me. I could be way off. We could always ask the maker later on, but that's how I read this. And I gave it an 85, putting it in the excellent category, presuming, again, that's a strong word, presuming that this was done with astrophotography, which is way out of my league. And if that is what's being done here, then this is just excellently done.
All right. Yeah, it's so interesting. Thank you all three for 3 different perspectives. And I hope that our maker is listening. And this is one that will be interesting to hear about the story later, because we have to just go on what we see, and we go on the title and the category. So thank you so much for all that feedback. That was really interesting and a great learning experience. So let's go to the next one.
Next image is illustrative, New Horizons. Image scores an 81.
All right, congratulations, Merit. And okay, Marcy, you're up.
Okay, I'm the bad guy again. I scored a 78. The horizon line's right in the middle. The boat on the shadow side is just muddy. And I don't see a real story. I see guys just standing there looking at the sailboat, or they're not looking into the sunset, they're looking off to the left. Maybe some cropping, get less water in the foreground, less sky, make it into like a little pano. But that hot spot, the sun, is maybe if you just took a step to your right and put that right behind the guy, maybe put them in silhouette, it would probably make the image pop better.
I have a proposal.
Okay.
I nominate John to remark on this because he is the master of this genre.
All right, let's hear, John. Go for it.
You too.
You've been nominated, John.
I humbly accept. Actually, Marcy hit it upon two things there. The foreground there with the water, too much water in the foreground, you would need to crop it more, and that would bring the horizon line down, which is important.
Correct.
And you can't move the individual over. I would move the cloud. I'd cover up that sun there. It's just too bright there whatsoever. And I would take out that boat on the left there, because these men here are looking out into a new horizon. They're looking one way and you got a boat coming the other way. It's like, it's not so new if there's other boats coming from that way. So you got a conflict going on there. So I'd take that boat out of there to get that concept of looking into a new horizon, a new world as they're moving forth. But take about 2-3 inches of the water off the foreground to begin with, and move the cloud over just a tad to cover that bright sun there. It's just too bright there, and remove the boat, and you've got a different story there. Does that help, Rosalind?
Yes. I knew you're the master.
Oh, I would not claim that at all.
Oh, but that was great. Thank you, John. Oh, yes. Great feedback. Loving this. I'm learning so much. I hope everyone else is. I just love being the moderator because I get to sit here and study and learn just like everyone else. So it's great. So good job. We've got more to go. So let's do the next one.
Okay, next image is a photojournalism image, Mountain Serenade. Image scores a 77.
All right. And John, I'm going to ask you again.
Okay. Technically, I know this is photojournalism, so from a technical point of view, this is very nice. Maybe the figure is a little more high key than I would like for this, with the contrast in the background. But quite frankly, I'm not too sure what's going on. I scored it a 78 because I'm not sure is with the title Mountain Serenade, is this individual yelling out there and getting an echo back, or is he singing? But if he is, I can't quite tell from his position there. So I'm a little confused with the story going on here. But from a technical perspective, you've got good lines going on here, sharp, crisp foreground. As I said, a little hot on the figure itself, especially when you compare it with the contrast in the background there. But technically well done, but a little confusing with the story, with the photojournalism.
All right. Thanks
That's
for
why I
that.
give it a 78. I'm sorry.
Okay. Thank you, John. Thanks for your honesty and your feedback. We appreciate it. And let's go on.
Okay, nature landscape, as far as your eyes can see. Image scores an 84.
All right. Congratulations on the merit. And Rosalind, you're up with your higher score there of 88.
Okay. This might be my second or third time judging this image, and I can see that all the things I suggested before are improved. So I scored this image an 88. There had been some distracting elements before that are now removed. So I enjoy the composition with the main peak right in the center, very symmetrical composition. but there also are also the undulating, like wavy leading lines throughout the image. So that has my eye traveling all the way back to the back and forward again. So I enjoy the rhythm of this image and the feeling of it.
All right. Thank you for that feedback. Image scored an 84, so congratulations to the maker. All right.
Okay. The next image is a portrait lighting the way. Image scores an 82.
All right. Congratulations, Merritt. And who is up next? Marcy, you're up.
Yeah, I'm at the 78 this time. I'm looking at this image and I see the lighting on her face, and it's coming from the high angle, but yet that light is very low. And so I don't see another, and her hand is very hot. She has nice shadow on her cheek there. Her nose isn't breaking the line of her other cheek. It just doesn't have the impact for me. Maybe if you crop it in and cut out the bottom of the dress, the darker portion, the left arm sleeve, maybe turn her body just a little more to get a little light on there to bring up the details in that arm so that it matches the rest of her body, her chest and her right arm. Those are just my suggestions.
All right. Thanks so much. Thanks for that. All right. Image scores a merit of 82. So congratulations and good feedback, judges. Dan, do we have any more images or any to review?
Okay, so that was the end of the first round of images. However, we have 6 images that scored either a 78 or a 79 that we need to go back and do a one-time review on. Judges, when you score these images, limit your score to a 79 or an 80, please.
79 means it stays the same. 80 means it moves up to a merit.
Correct. So, first image to review, calm summer day at Big Virginia Lake. Image stays the same. Next image, crow in the belfry. Image stays the same. Okay. Next image, reflections. Image stays the same. Next image, don't ask any questions. Image stays the same. Next image, grace and flourish. Image stays the same. And the final one for review is, are you ready? Image stays the same. That concludes our initial round of judging. I recommend we take a break and the judges can reconvene in the breakout room for scoring for best in category, best in show.
Okay. Now you can see that, you can see my screen, judges are on a break, and that's where Dan's gonna put the
All right.
winners.
So we're going to show first the best pet image is levitating dog trick.
Hmm.
Why is that not showing up?
He made it.
It's not showing up.
It was there.
And
It's
that's
on
by
print
Auto
room.
Cruise. It's on what?
It's showing on
print room.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
it
not
is?
the.
No, it's
Okay.
not, but
No,
Because
mine's
I
not.
see judges are on break on
Same.
Michelle's screen.
There it is. Well, no, never mind.
Well, that, yeah, all it
Yeah.
shows is judges are on a break. So are you guys seeing it on yourprint.com?
Yeah,
Oh,
there
I
it
see
is.
it now.
Oh, there we
Okay,
go.
there it
There
is. There
we
it is.
go.
Okay.
There he is.
All right.
Dog trick.
that's my
Congratulations.
guy.
All right.
He's now
Yay.
champion of the house for this year.
Okay, but listen, you need to crop off the bottom half of that cushion because that's, you know,
And darken it.
yeah,
Okay.
Good job.
and change the title.
All right. Good job, Otto. Way to
All
go.
right. The best illustrative is Abundance Wreath by Melanie Plummer.
Ooh.
Melanie. Good job, Melanie. Is Melanie watching? Oh, she's here. There she is.
Watching. I'm here in
Melanie.
Cleveland and I'm humbled. Thank you.
Melanie,
Are
did
you
I
tired?
judge that image for you before?
You may have, what was it, about September?
Yeah, probably.
Mhm.
We had a
Thank you.
All right. Congratulations, Melanie. Are you tired, Melanie, in Ohio? Late.
I'm awake. I
All
think I
right.
drank enough tea today.
Very good.
I came to the party a little late, but hey, I'm awake.
All right. Congratulations.
Thank
All
you.
right. The best senior image is The Future Is Mine by Michelle Pennings.
All right.
Yay.
Guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, those vests are the hardest things to control.
Yeah, I never even saw that. So thanks, John. I'm gonna go back
Yeah.
now. Now I can't unsee it.
You just have to have them sit up a little taller
Yeah,
because they tend to slouch, and that's what does that.
yeah.
You get some clips and clip it in the back.
Oh, okay.
Pull it tight.
And also pull it down after he sits down.
Okay.
Well,
Cool.
yeah, if he sits up straighter, it'll straighten up.
So sometimes you have to unbutton the bottom button in
Mhm.
order to pull it down.
Right.
Okay.
All
Thanks.
right. The best in photojournalism is Running Happy by Jim Tomczyk.
All right.
Yay.
Good job, Jim. That was cool.
All right. The best in digital artistry is Octopus by Rachel Blazer.
Yeah. I
All
like
right,
it.
Rachel. Way to go. Good job. Congratulations.
All right. Let's see. Hold on a second. The best in children, it was the only image submitted to children, is Let Me Call You Right Back by Melanie Robertson.
Yay.
Oh, yay, Melanie. So cute. Oh my goodness. she's-
Branching away from seniors.
Yeah, look at that. Little mini boss. So cute. Good job, Melanie.
Thank you.
All right. The best portrait is Brett by Antoine.
Oh, look at that.
Woo.
Antoine,
good.
you still have the touch.
Good one. Yeah, apparently. I'm surprised, honestly. But awesome, awesome. Thank you.
That was my
Congratulations.
favorite.
I'm sorry. Hello.
Who said that?
I think it
Well,
was Melanie.
congratulations, Antoine.
Congratulations.
That was me. That was awesome. I super love that photo.
Thank you.
All right. The best nature landscape image is The Thinker by Barbara Fletcher.
All right, way to go,
Hey,
Barbara.
Barbara.
Thank
Oh,
you.
she's one of your new members, right?
Brand new.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Barbara, we
Brand
did
new.
the judging academy together.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
That was a fun day. You were an
Congratulations.
excellent judge, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
All
Good
right.
job, Barbara.
Thank
Way-
you.
And for this evening, the best in show is Octopus by Rachel Blazer.
Whoa!
Wow,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Very nice. Very nice.
Thank you so much. All right, Rachel, we want to hear about it.
Security benefits, I'm gonna put that into the text.
Oh,
Where is it then?
you know, it's one of the pictures that I learned Photoshop on. So I made it a while ago and decided that I wanted to learn how to composite. And this was sort of one of my first favorite images from that process. I took the picture of the octopus in Hawaii. Actually, I took them all in Hawaii a few years ago. So that's the story. I wanted something surreal.
Well, it's
It's
beautiful.
very nice.
Yeah,
Thank you.
congratulations. Way to go, Rachel. Your first image comp with PPSDC and you get best in show. That's absolutely
That's awesome.
fantastic.
That's pretty
Congratulations.
Yeah, that was definitely more than I was expecting. So I was
Wait.
just hoping to get a merit. So I'm really excited. Thank you.
Way to set the bar pretty high for yourself there.
I know it's all going to be downhill from here, unfortunately. but
Oh,
I'll try. I'll try.
Wow, everybody, you did so amazing. I want to thank our judges again. Thank you, John and Marcy and Rosalind. You guys really, that was fantastic feedback. I hope everybody listened and really took your words to heart, your honesty and your transparency. We just appreciate you so much. And I hope everyone, we all have thick skin in this game, hopefully. And we know that everybody means well with their comments and that you do it to make us better. So thank you so much. All
Thanks for
right.
having me.
You are
And
welcome.
Great job, guys. Great
Thank
judging.
you to all the judges. They were wonderful. Thank you.
Yep, really good. So unless our judges have anything they want to say or add, we will let them go so that they can.
Just
Get
want to
some
say
rest.
thank you. It was a great collection of work here. It was very impressive. It's my first time judging for San Diego. I've judged up and all across the state. So, but great work here. And it was an honor to be with you. And I was inspired, truly inspired.
Oh, thanks, John. That's wonderful coming from you. John's so talented. So thank
I
you.
appreciate all the judges, all the comments they gave. They gave very good comments.
Yep.
Well,
Well,
Marcy?
you're welcome. I hope to see all you guys at the state image competition later in the year.
Yes, I hope to see everyone too. Yes.
Yeah.
February is the first one, correct?
No.
and I hope to see some of you in Nashville.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Can I make a plug?
Oh, yeah, Rosalind. Make a plug.
Hey, Rosalind, what's going on in Nashville?
Yeah.
He's speaking.
I'm teaching 2 classes. I am teaching a pre-con class on the 21st from 2 to 5 p.m. There I will be going over my lighting and editing process. And on the 23rd at 8 a.m., I'm teaching a platform class and I will be demonstrating lighting there. So for the first one, you have to register ahead of time and pay your $99. For the second one, it's included in your conference fee. So I hope to see all of you there.
Ooh, that's going to be exciting. You guys don't miss out on that for sure.
And I'll be at the ASP booth the whole time. So come on out and say hi.
Awesome.
All right.
All right, you guys, I'm going to stop the recording right here.